I'm David Overholt, writer-director of Star Wars Fallen Jedi.
And I'm Micha Magill. I play Jedi Master Vong Zaar in Fallen Jedi.
And right here we have what I think is the best shot of the entire movie. I put this in the first teaser, and we actually got a compliment from a guy who worked at ILM, Mark Anthony Austin. He's the guy who animated the dewbacks in the special edition of Star Wars. He looked at this shot and he said, "That's pure ILM right there," and you can't get a better compliment than that on your Star Wars fan film, so...
High praise, indeed.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Now right there's Han and Chewie flying by, and in a second there goes Din Djarin in the Razor Crest. Mando was like the new cool thing when I was rendering out that shot, so I thought, hey, I'll just put his ship flying through as a little cameo, and thought it would be fun.
A little homage to all the eras.
So obviously you can see it's kind of a rainy day here on Coruscant. What I wanted to do was give this kind of a monster movie feel at the end, because George Lucas always talked about Vader being kind of like Frankenstein, and I thought it would just be kind of cool to see this sort of dreary, rainy, stormy night as he's reporting back to Palpatine. And here they come. Now that guy standing to Vader's right, screen left, that is the Arbiter, played again by you, actually. So you were not only the Jedi and all the Stormtroopers, you're also this kind of spooky weirdo.
Now, a lot of people, if I remember from comments, thought that he was a Star Wars character, like an original, and they were trying to figure out who he was.
Yeah,
and,
but we actually came up with him for this film.
Yeah. But I think he fit.
Yeah. It's kind of cool seeing him right alongside Vader and Palpatine. And there I am as Emperor Palpatine. This was one of the most fun acting bits I had for the whole movie, being Palpatine, because I always used to goof around doing his voice when I was a kid, so it was fun to get into makeup and everything.
I think the makeup worked very well.
Yeah, it was $90, so like it better. That's one of my favorite shots of the whole thing. We did that as a little homage to like the devil guy in the cantina that does that little smile.
I think the Arbiter's splash of red, sort of in the middle of all this black, Vader's black and you're dressed in black, is kind of reminds me of the Imperial Guards. Yeah.
He was meant to be reminiscent of the Praetorian Guards, but still his own weird thing.
Yeah.
And right here, Palpatine is sensing that Vader's kind of messed himself up when he was fighting, because the idea was this whole scene is about the fact that he's not fully becoming Darth Vader yet. He's still holding on to being Anakin Skywalker, so he was using the Force to push his mechanical body further than it should go. And he injured himself, and he also messed up his gears and servos, and that's why he's kind of like limping up those stairs. And then Palpatine's mad because he's like, it's expensive to fix you, and like, I can't keep doing this every time you fight somebody, And Vader gets a little mouthy, and that's why he gets zapped. So,
because you got to do the Force lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have kicked myself years later if I would have been like, I had the one chance to play Palpatine and I didn't do the lightning. And so I tried to make it look as much like Return of the Jedi as I could, with the little flashes of Vader's skull and giving the lightning that kind of purplish look that it had in the old films. And
looked very similar, to the original.
Right there, Vader's body language was very purposely with the one hand up, kind of like when Luke had cut his hand off in Return of the Jedi. Kind of like he's like, "Hey, I've had enough. Stop." And
he's wheezing like he did in Jedi as well.
Yeah, I put that sound effect in to make him feel more feeble. I almost put that sound effect in from the beginning to explain why Palpatine knows he's hurt, but I thought some people might be confused.
Now here, the Arbiter's character is he has the ability to kind of absorb one's pain, physical pain, which is what he's doing. And we kind of hinted at the fact that maybe his species does that, you know. But he was voluntarily taking on Vader's pain from the battle
to heal his wounds.
Yeah, and you know, since he just got Force Lightninged, he kind of absorbed some of that as well. That's why he's limping down the stairs just now.
One of the best Vader shots in the whole film right there, just the kneeling down thing. It's so iconically Darth Vader.
Rise.
And I tried to sound as much as I could like Palpatine there with that rise from like Revenge of the Sith. So
Love that shot right there.
I was able to composite Vader to look a lot bigger in this shot than I was through the rest of the film, so he has the proper sense of scale when he's talking to Palpatine. And just something about seeing Darth Vader and Palpatine with the big Death Star window, but then seeing Coruscant outside, it's like it blends the eras of Star Wars together in an interesting way visually. And we also tried to mix a little bit of Anakin's body language in with Vader once again in this scene. Right here when he turns away from him and kind of looks back over his shoulder when he's like, defeating this Jedi was more difficult than it should have been. He's got that Anakin moodiness going on right there.
Very moody. But yeah, the scale right there, I mean, really made Vader look the most Vader-ish, I think.
And what I wanted this whole scene to show was the manipulation of Palpatine. How he'll punish you 1 minute brutally when you just step out of line just a little bit. And then the second he's done, he's like, why'd you make me do that? I didn't want to have to do it, but like you made me do it. Now he's your best friend again, and he makes you feel like you deserved it. It's that abusive relationship.
Yeah. It's
Of a Sith.
almost like a bipolar personality.
Or like an abusive parent kind of situation where he's leading him down a dark path.
Very manipulative.
We wanted to show how truly evil he was. And also this scene explains why Vader ends up fighting differently in 4, 5, and 6. Because right here, Palpatine's saying, like, you gotta find a new technique. You gotta fight your own way. You can't fight like Anakin anymore. Anakin's dead. You're not him anymore. And so I thought putting that in would be kind of cool. Just in case people were wondering, like, man, why is he twirling his lightsaber so much earlier in the film? It's like, this explains, like, oh, okay, he was pushing his body too hard because he wasn't accepting that he was different.
Still thinking with that young Anakin brain.
But by the end of this film, now he's like baseball bat Darth Vader that we know and love from episode 4, 5, and 6.
Love the fire effects.
Yeah, having that, we had a little light bar off to the side that you were kind of flickering back and forth to give that light off on Yoda, and I think it was really effective. It helped make that little hand puppet look pretty good in these shots.
Yeah, it kind of made him really look like he's there. That interactive lighting.
Now I had to snip like 8 different images of Yoda's hut out of the scene in Empire Strikes Back when Luke is eating soup with Yoda, to try to get little bits of the background that I could stitch together that Luke wasn't covering up, and then I had to paint the rest of it to make this backdrop for Yoda's hut to be in, and it turned out pretty well. It was a pain in the butt to do, but it was worth it to have these background plates.
Yeah. Now, I really like the Force Ghost effect that you did on me here, with the shimmery light and sort of the white inner light surrounded by the more bluish outward.
I looked at Obi-Wan in Return of the Jedi, and I noticed like every fan film I've seen, he's just a Force Ghost is just like a blue guy And that's even how they did it in Episode 9 with Luke, and that's how they did Qui-Gon in the Obi-Wan show. They're just kind of blue guys. They just sort of look like holograms.
They're just all blue.
But,
Smurfy.
Yeah. But Obi-Wan had that shimmer around him, but then on the inside, he still had skin tone, but it was like kind of desaturated. So that's what I tried to capture for this.
Kind of a faded, you know, look.
I'm really happy with how it turned out. And the score of this scene was just so much fun to do, because it was like John Williams' greatest hits collection, because I used like every theme I could. I used Leia's theme, the Force theme, Luke and Leia's brother-sister theme. I used Yoda's theme, a little bit of Battle of the Heroes when they're talking about Anakin. I think a bit of Vader's in there.
Yeah, it was kind of a medley.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. That's kind of why the dialogue is so slow in this scene as well, just to give me some
room
time
for the music.
to have some of that classic Star Wars music, because I thought the film was so dark, people might want a little nostalgia and a little good, warm, fuzzy feelings of classic Star Wars music.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the film in all 6 parts. Hopefully it didn't seem too self-indulgent, us talking about our own movie that we made, but it's been very rewarding seeing how much Star Wars fans have enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been nice to kind of reminisce and, you know, relive the good times.
So we'll be doing this again on our future projects, because we've got one we're working on right now. It's not Star Wars related, but we'll be telling you more about it soon. So thanks for watching. I'm David Overholt.
I'm Micha Magill.
And we will see you guys next time.